Digitalisation and technology are reshaping business models, company culture and reward and benefit strategies across all industry sectors, including healthcare. I'm Maggie Williams, Content Director at REBA, and I'm joined today by Natalia Doxopoulos, Associate Director of Total Rewards at Vertex Pharmaceuticals, to talk about how their organisation is responding. So Natalia, in the face of increased digitalisation, how is Vertex Pharmaceuticals adapting its reward strategy to retain or develop the key talent that you need?
That's a great question. And I believe that there are really three elements that we would focus on, or we are focusing on. First of all is making sure that we really listen to our employees, what they really need and what do they value. And I think the digitization helps us because there are so many tools, there's such a great technology that can help us really understand what are those needs of the employees, what do they really value, what makes them feel safe, and how they can bring their best self to work. And definitely it's something that we are more and more incorporating in the design of our strategy. So pulse surveys or tracking the utilization of programs, if we have webinars, how many employees is joining us, and what the webinars are really important to them, what's really that they like. So that's definitely one of this aspect. Second point is the communication, and it's really about that internal and external one. So with the increased number of young talent that is using different sort of pages, Instagram, and media such as LinkedIn, how do you tell the story about your organization and how that mission and the values are actually linked with our rewards programs, right? So making it really that link between the business models, our mission, and how it's all together, how we are different from our competitors, and making sure that it is something that stands out. And then when we think about the internal communication, it's making it more purposeful. So thinking about what already exists. I don't necessarily think that we need to change drastically the benefit schemes that we have or the compensation programs that we have. I know that we are really unique in how we deliver the rewards, but how can we just make sure that the employees are reminded about it? So thinking about more targeted communication, and I think a great example that we have started more looking at is sending communication at the right time to the parents whose kids are just going to school. It can be really stressful moment for the kids going back to school. So here are the resources that you can use for you and for your family to make it a little bit easier transition, right? So making it more purposeful. And I think then also the surround system when we think about the communication. So using different channels and different media to help employees get to it. Everybody is different. So one employee might find it on your internal web pages, but we have also discovered that sending a postcard just promoting one of the programs is quite interesting. You can put like a really digital code, you scan it with your mobile, and here you have the promotion of your great benefit that you have. I think there is also the other aspect of this kind of channel. You might know about this program or about this benefit, but you might not be using it. But if we send it to your home address, maybe your spouse will find it interesting. Maybe your kid might find it interesting and will start asking questions. So there are different ways of making sure that it is more, it is really marketing and then promotion. So it's interesting to see. And the third element that we are shifting towards is putting well-being in the center of the design. Well-being has always been there, that's for sure. But I think it's looking at it from the perspective of the employee, who wants to be taken care of, who wants to be making sure that we are there to support them, whatever it is. I think recently I have read that well-being is not anymore a nice to have, it's an imperative, and I absolutely agree with it. And I think then the digitalization technology is to help us. There are so many applications that there are for the employers, for the employees to help them with tackling mental health, coaching, and we have introduced a couple of those tools that really are used by our employees.
That's great. That's some fascinating things. So thank you very much indeed, Natalia. And have you had to make changes to your reward and benefits policies to influence your recruitment and retention, as with such an intense war for talent? And how do those changes align with your overall talent strategy?
as a professional that knows, benefits or compensation, any changes to that, it's not an easy task, right? You need to go through a whole project of setting up the scene, data-driven decisions, so it's not so easy. And I think that the COVID has accelerated some of those changes, how we look at our programs. So thinking about it from the organization perspective and the talent that we are tapping and we need is really about diversity and authenticity of our people, because that's what makes our culture and our organization really, really unique. So we want to make sure that employees who come, candidates, that they bring diverse perspectives, and we are embracing those differences, because that's really what inspires that innovation. Because each and every employee is unique and they have different needs. We definitely need to make sure that we capture that within our programs. And I think one of the good examples that we have put in is bringing more flexibility into our existing schemes. So thinking about fitness benefit, it's not anymore limited to the free gyms that are around the workplace. It's really giving the employees the chance to have a look at what yoga studio they want to attend. Maybe it's a real silk studio, or maybe it is just something that they want to get at home and do it at home. So giving that flexibility is really something that we want to give to the employees, and that leads us to the next element of it, being inclusive. So we have also changed or reviewed our communication materials, promotion materials around rewards, making sure that they are inclusive and they are targeting those different needs of employees. Thinking about the talent and how it's aligned with the talent strategy, obviously diversity, inclusion, that sense of belonging is of an importance, but also I think that the reward strategy, it's not anymore about the pay. Okay, pay is important. We want to make sure that we pay competitively, but as it turns out, it's not anymore not enough anymore. What really attracts the talent, the real talent, in addition to the mission of the organization, the values and the culture, is how do we take care of our employees, right? So again, it's getting back to that differentiated experience and adjusting our programs to the needs of me and my loved ones. How do you treat me fairly? I want to be treated respectfully. And what will you do as an employer when things happen? So I think that's really critical element of that, is making sure that we are adjusting the programs to the needs of individuals.
That's great, and that's fascinating, that bringing that focus onto individuals. So many thanks for your insights today, Natalia. It's been great to catch up with you.
Thank you, Maggie.